In an era of mandatory transformation, most CEOs don't lose talent because strategy is wrong. They lose talent because leadership behavior lags behind strategic intent. When I think about the defining milestones in my journey at Castrol, probably there are 4 pivotal shifts. First, building strong commercial fundamentals in India. Starting in frontline sales at Castrol gave me deep exposure to scale, complexity, and channel dynamics in one of the toughest markets globally. That experience built my execution rigor and customer-first mindset. Second, transitioning from operational leadership to regional and global strategic roles. Leading multicultural teams across markets sharpened my ability to think portfolio-wide, align diverse stakeholders, and drive performance through influence rather than control. Third, moving into digital and service-led business models. That phase evolved me from a traditional marketer into a business builder, designing platforms, partnerships, and new revenue streams beyond core products. And today, leading the Castrol Gogoro Mobility JV positions me at the intersection of the energy transition and mobility innovation, shifting from products to participating in a broader electrical mobility system. Each milestone reflects a step change in scale, strategic scope, and future orientation. In an era of mandatory transformation, most CEOs don't lose talent because strategy is wrong. They lose talent because leadership behavior lags behind strategic intent. Transformation is not just a market shift, it's a power shift. Legacy models reward control, efficiency, and domain expertise. New models demand adaptability, distributed authority, and continuous learning. When leaders step outside their comfort zones, they often try to modernize the organization while subconsciously protecting the very structures that gave them success. That inconsistency is visible, and high potential talent reads it immediately. There's also an unspoken emotional dimension. Transformation threatens identity, both personal and institutional. When that loss isn't acknowledged, conflict becomes political rather than productive. Succession becomes contested, direction becomes blurred, and in the absence of psychological safety, emerging leaders disengage. Finally, many CEOs attempt to refresh strategy without redesigning incentives, decision rights, and governance, but culture and structure amplify or suffocate intent. If systems reward legacy behaviors, the organization drifts, no matter how compelling the vision sounds. The CEOs who retain talent during transformation are the ones who evolve themselves first. They make conflict discussable, realign structures with future strategy, and tell a clear narrative about what is ending and what is emerging. In uncertainty, clarity, not certainty, is what people follow. In this session, I frame conflict and succession not as HR events, but as strategic stress tests during transformation. Friction is inevitable when legacy models collide with new capabilities. The risk lies in mismanaging it. I introduce 3 powerful lenses. First, adaptive leadership principles, which help leaders distinguish technical skill gaps from deeper adaptive challenges around identity, authority, and power shifts. Many succession failures happen because adaptive tension is misdiagnosed as performance failure. Second, we use a structural alignment lens inspired by the McKinsey 7S framework, examining whether strategy, systems, incentives, and leadership behaviors actually reinforce the future direction. If the system rewards legacy behaviors, talent strategy will stall. Third, we integrate Amy Edmondson's psychological safety model alongside clear decision rights to ensure that disagreement becomes productive rather than political during transitions. By the end of the program, participants will be able to diagnose conflicts systematically, differentiate technical gaps from adaptive tensions, align strategy, structure, and incentives, ensure systems reinforce future direction, clarify authority and decision rights to reduce ambiguity during transitions, build capability-based succession pipelines, move beyond replacement planning, institutionalize psychological safety at the top, enable constructive dissent, embed succession as a continuous leadership system, not a one-time event. And from a mindset perspective, leaders will be able to think and lead differently. Participants will shift from avoiding conflict to leveraging conflict as a strategic insight. Instead of selecting for past performance, how do you select for future relevance? From protecting authority to redistributing power to strengthen the institution. From managing transitions reactively to designing leadership continuity intentionally. From preserving legacy identity to leading organizational evolution with clarity.